Fastest street legal Camaro, the 4th gen, and he went 263.25 10 years ago. There's a guy at Bonneville that's gone 277. So we are planning on beating both records with one pass.
Hi everybody, my name is Andy Wilson. I'm with Revx Products. Today we're here with Clark Rosenstengel. He's a multi-time drag week contestant, and he also is running in the Arkansas Standing Mile event. What was your first car?
Great. 1967 Triumph Spitfire.
Was it fast?
No, it had a 4-cylinder in it.
Okay.
But it made my career choice better because I restored it. Me and my friend were driving down through town and a lady pulled out, I T-boned her. Car's totaled. So I bought it back, fixed it up, sold it. I made money. I like this.
And this was the beginning. What have you done for a living for most of your life?
I work for other dealerships and other independent shops, and the last one fired me for my bad attitude. Go figure. So I opened up my own body shop. Had it for 21 years, and I sold it 2 years ago. And now I'm just playing with race cars, which are expensive.
What got you into racing?
Well, I always liked the cars that had the big tire, big tubbed out cars.
Okay.
So me and my friend went to the junkyard and found this 95 Camaro, and we bought that in 95, and it was like a banana. It took us 2 weekends to get it straight.
Pulling it on a chain rack?
Yep. And I brought it home, my little 2-stall garage, tubbed it out, caged it, everything else, and then 2006, drag week came along, and the guy that I worked with said, hey, that'd be fun to do. So we took my 95 Camaro on it.
Okay.
And I've done it ever since.
Since 2006?
Yes.
You've been on drag week every year?
Yes.
That's awesome.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is.
But we got faster. I never thought I'd have a car like this, honestly. But we do. It is what it is. It's fun.
How'd you get this one?
This one came from Florida, from Copart. It was a Hennessy, had a blower on it, and I think it had nitrous on it because the front end was all burned up.
Okay.
So I bought it. I just saw pictures. They shipped it up, and I commenced building a car, race car.
When you were building this car, what were the goals that you had?
My goal was hit 200. Now we've hit 200 in the quarter mile. We hit 200 in the standing mile. Now we hit 200 in the half mile.
200.
So
it's a street car.
So we can do 200 no problem.
What could you tell us about the Arkansas Standing Mile?
I've been doing it for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years now. And I first started helping out a guy to do the event. So then I decided, well, I like to do it. So I built this car. And when I was building it, I decided to do a quarter mile with it, half mile with it, standing mile. So I built the car for all the events. And there's a lot of cars, there are not very many cars like this out there that does all the events.
When you say you started to do this with somebody else for the event, was that putting the event on, or was that another racer?
Another racer.
Okay.
He needed help with his seat belts and getting everything suited up.
Okay, so you kind of crewed for him.
Yeah, so I crewed for somebody else.
Okay. What kind of changes do you make to the car for like drag week to the standing mile?
Well, there's not much really to change. We do change the front bumper for more aero. We change the tires, the front tires are the Goodyear Bonneville front runners. Then we change the rear gear to a 270 gear, and we run a locked up gear vendor that's already locked up so we don't shift it. And we add 100 pounds to the rear end for more weight. So the car is 4,300 pounds. So you want it heavy so you don't take flight.
So is that for top end, or is that for like drag week?
For top end, for standing mile.
So you're adding weight for a standing mile.
Yes, because the weight is not an issue really. Then we do change out the parachutes because we had an issue where we were running the drag chutes and we pulled the chutes and the car was all over the place. So then I decided I won't go back out there until I get that taken care of. So now we got different chutes for the land speed racing, which is a whole lot better. So now we can go faster now.
Not a lightweight.
No,
Not
it's
a
full
lightweight.
interior, full steel, full all glass. It's a street car.
What kind of records are you looking for in the standing mile?
I'm not going to say the number, but the fastest street legal Camaro is the 4th gen, and he went 263.25 10 years ago. So I'm close to that. Well, then I talked to Keith Turk, and he said there's a guy at Bonneville that's gone 277 in 5-mile stretch. So now at the standing mile, we can go to 1.25 miles. So we are planning on beating both records with one pass. But we're not going to say the number.
Okay.
It's going to be a good number.
The record's about 0.8 miles an hour faster than where you're at right now.
We got the standing mile, we'll get that no problem.
What do we have to do with this car to go that fast?
We are just going to add 5 more pounds of boost. We're only at 20, we're going to have about 25 out back.
Okay.
And we just carry out to 1.25 miles. And my wife did the calculation and figures we gain about 25 miles an hour every quarter after the half mile. So just think about that.
And you just brought up a really interesting point. Your wife. Does your wife go to the races with you?
She's into it more than I am.
She's your biggest fan.
Yeah.
Awesome. Do you have a team?
Yeah. My wife, my daughter, and her dog.
Small teams are the tightest. They're the best. What motor do you run? What kind of motor, what kind of driveline, what package?
Of course, it's the C Morse engine. Me and Steve started with an LS in my 95 Camaro, which is 1,300 horse. But now when I built this car, we did a 2,500 horse LS twin turbo, twin 83s. And we're doing a standing mile with it, and the heads just moved around way too much.
Okay.
So then we said, screw the LSs. Steve was happy with that. So Steve just came out with the SMX. So we decided we'll put an SMX in it. Yes, it could be 4,500 horse on 50, 60 pounds of boost, but we build it to run 30 pounds, so it's not going to be as maxed out like the LSs were.
Sure.
So we run the SMX, we run the Rossler Pro Mod, the 180 first gear, Turbo 400. We run the Copo suspension. We built the car around a Copo. There's a book on how to build it, so that's what we did. We talked to Mike at NPR for all the parts that we needed. And he's kind of shocked on how fast we're going with this heavy-ass car. It was never designed to go this fast.
Well, it sounds like you got a lot of power.
Yes.
Lots and lots of power. And you have more on tap because you guys are the best of the best.
Yes. And the Holly fuel injection, Dominator, all that good stuff.
What is involved in setting the official record?
Yes, it's the East Coast Timing Association. They're the ones that run the event. So they got all the computers. They give us certificates every year when we break a record.
Do you run nitrous in your car?
Nope.
No?
Don't need to.
Okay. So
Nitrous are for those people that can't build horsepower.
okay. So how long have you been using Revx?
For about 5 years, that's pretty much since I built this car.
You started using Revx in about 2018, and that was in the Camaro. Then the next year, some funny things happened, and you had to build a whole new car.
People know it as a protest Mustang. We were at a track, and the alternator belt took the oil pump belt off, and didn't realize until we got back to the pits that there's no oil pressure. So I thought it was pretty much done, but we checked all the bearings, they're like brand new. So that's why I pretty much use it, and my Camaro back here, every time Steve sees my bearings, he's like, yep, they're still good. So that's why we use it.
Valve train issues, you ever run into anything?
No. No, I mean my lifters are still on my same set of lifters from last year. Running all that stuff. We freshened the motor up. The only thing we changed was the pistons. Everything else is the same from last year.
How'd you hear about it?
They came to my house. You did. You guys came here.
I know I did. I saw you at the drag strip down at Drag Week. And I was like, how do I get a hold of you? I introduced myself to Clark about 5-6 years ago down, I think it was on 2018 Drag Week.
Yep.
We're working with Clark directly for the Camaro and his other Camaro for another event that he's going to be going on.
Which is Drop the Hammer. We're bringing the old blue out.
I didn't know that this is actually the very first year of the Drop the Hammer event. And Revx is actually going to be a vendor at the event. Drop the Hammer is a Michigan-based drag and drive event. It's going to go from Martin, which is 131 Dragway, to Stanton, Michigan, which is Mid-Michigan Dragway, and back to Martin. It's a 3-day event. What car are you going to use for Drop the Hammer?
My 95 Camaro.
What are a couple highlights of your car career?
Oh, last year we did Drag Week and we got in the 200 mile an hour club. That was our one goal that we want to get done. Next goal is we want to get the car in the sixes, which is very possible because we've been 206 at 709, I believe. So it's close. So we just want to get this in the sixes for Drag Week. Then we might pull back on doing a lot of drag and drives, but just pick the ones that we want to do. Because it's tough. I mean, it's...
Go to a few specifics?
Exactly. Yeah, maybe do a weekend things instead.
What are your future goals and record attempts that you would like to do?
I'm pretty much topped out on my future goals. I mean, I never thought this car would go this fast.
You're already pushing the limits from where you thought you built it.
Exactly. And there's so much more power in this car, which is, we could go even faster, which we are, but.
Slowly but surely getting there.
Exactly. You don't want to just jump in and crank up to 50 pounds in the booth like everyone, just go right ahead.
And see what happens.
Yeah, but no, we don't do that.
Is there anything you would like to add?
Come out to the Arkansas Mile, see some record be broken.
I hope you enjoyed the video. My name's Andy Wilson. I'm with Revx Products. This is Clark Rosenstengel. And check us out on revxoil.com, or you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, all that YouTube stuff. And Clark, is there any links or anything you have?
Just come out to the Standing Mile, Blytheville, Arkansas, May 3rd, 4th, and 5th, I believe. It's the weekend.
Awesome.